Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do my weekly reading update for November 27th, 2022. So I've had a very busy week for my week off. It was really good. I got my on my bookshelves, I kind of reshuffled them and moved things around, made space by double stacking in certain places. I didn't have to double stack everything, which is which means I have space. And I have left space on certain shelves for different books that are actually ones I'm probably going to haul here this next week for my November book haul. So once those get on the shelf, there'll still be space. I still have some space. So hopefully we'll see. I haven't bought I bought quite a bit of books yesterday on Small Business Saturday because I went to Powell's and to Jan's Book Paperbacks, which are my two go-to used bookstores. So I did buy a few things yesterday, but I haven't bought a whole lot online. So I think that's good. I think I only bought, no, I bought stuff before that came in. So I didn't buy anything so far. We'll see what happens. Anyway, so Thanksgiving was good here. I had, as I said, I did the library reshuffle earlier in the week, and then I went down to my parents' house and had Thanksgiving there. I will insert a clip at the end of my dad's new cat. Well, I mean, okay, so they live on property outside of town, and he's gotten 3 cats this way, where somebody obviously abandoned this cat because this cat is super friendly. We think is a she, and she talks a lot, but she looks kind of older. And she's very skinny. So my dad is feeding her, sooner or later he's going to take her to the vet because he's letting her start to sleep in the garage, and we'll have to put a chip on her and to check if she has an identification chip. That if he keeps her, that there'll be a chip so she can go in and out of the cat door. So I'm pretty sure that's going to happen pretty soon because the temperatures are dropping and my dad is a sucker. Anyway, but she is super cute, and I just think by the end of the winter she'll be in the house. If it turns out she's not lost, if she's a lost cat, my dad will, we'll get her back to her owners, but it really looks like she's been abandoned. Anyway, so I'll have a clip at the end of the video for that. Thanksgiving went well. We had a really small group compared to normal, where there was only 10 of us because a couple people couldn't come at the last minute. And normally we have between 18 and 30. So it was a really small group for us. We had tons of leftovers. I've been eating leftovers for days. I think today's my last day, and then that's it. I'm not eating anymore. But other than that, so it was really great. So, but the problem is that my brother called me this morning and he has tested positive for the dreaded disease. So now I'm like, do I have it? Do I know? So I'm going to take a test here later. Giddy. I don't know why Cooper has to do that every time I do this now. I'm gonna have to take a test just to make sure, because I have to go back to work tomorrow, supposedly. So we'll see. Hopefully, I don't feel anything at all, and I haven't seen him since Friday. So maybe I'm okay. I don't know. We'll find out. Anyway, so I haven't heard of anybody else's feeling sick. I just know my brother called me this morning. Not fun. Anyway, so I'm hoping I get skipped this time around. Other than that, yes, I have to go back to work tomorrow, and I don't want to. But that's how it goes. But again, I'm hoping I don't want to get sick. I mean, that's like, wait, I'd rather go to work. So let's hope that doesn't happen. Anyway, so let's talk about the books that I read, that I'm in the middle of, and what I think I'm going to read in the next week. So this week was very random on my reading. I didn't settle on things. I was trying to finish 2 nonfiction books, which I did do for NonFiction November. So I'm really proud of it, because these are books that I had started earlier in the year and I just didn't finish at the time. So I finally got those 2 done, but my fiction reading was like all over the place. So I think it's no surprise that I'm continuing my reread of the Guild Hunter series. I did first finish Archangels Enigma, which is book 8. Is that right? Yes, book 8 in the Guild Hunter series by Nalini Singh. So this is Nassar's book, and it was really fun, and it moves the plot along in the world machinations. Again, this is a world where there are vampires, angels, and cat. Cooper, go away. Anyway, what did I say? Vampires, angels, and archangels rule. And there are those who are called guild hunters, who are the humans who go after the rogue vampires and things. But there's this huge world thing that's going on with all the archangels and the world in a kind of nature way called the Cascade. And it is just, it's so much, this is just so much fun. So anyway, this was a good of the books that follow a different couple in the book. And then I went on to read Archangel's Heart, which is book 9, which again comes back to the core couple, Elena and Raphael. And this, again, moves the plot along in the whole scheme of things. And this is a really good one for their learning stuff about her past and stuff. So anyway, these are great rereads. I'm listening to them on audio from my library as a reread. So so this is 8 and 9. There's 15 books total, 15 Archangel's Resurrection I read when it came out in October. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to read all these up until that book. I'm pretty sure I won't be able to get the audiobook for the newest one for quite a while, but I've just read that one, so I'm not really worried about rereading that one. I'm going to probably reread all the way through 14, but we'll see. Anyway, so as I said, I finished 8 and 9 this week. So then yesterday, again, I finished my 2 nonfiction books, Dreams of Trespass, Tales of a Harem, Girlhood by Fatima Mernissi. Anyway, so I picked this up, I think when I read a different book on Morocco, and this is talking about her childhood in the 40s, because she was born in 1940, and her growing up in a harem in Fez. So this was very fascinating because it does touch on, I mean, it's her memoir of her childhood, but it's showing the different, like how segregated the women were, and then how things were changing in the world where other places were women were becoming, had more freedoms and stuff. And there was this tradition line, and there was the modern, and how the men treated that, and how, how the women, some of them wanted to go the more modern route. And she was, Fatima was told many times that she, it was going to be different when she was older, because she would be able to make more choices than her mother got to make. So it was very interesting. And it also talked about how different, like you just say harem and you think, one guy and a lot of wives or something like that. But this is actually, there are different kinds of harems within the culture. And like her grandfather lived out in the country, and so he had a different kind of harem than the one that she grew up in with her mother and her father. Her father was one of, and his brother had their wife, each had a wife and then kids. And then they had their sisters who were either widowed or divorced, or, came back home. And then their grandmother, or their mother. So it was a family group that lived all in this complex. But they called it a harem because, again, the women stayed inside, and they were only let out under guard or had a male protection to go out, and they mostly had to stay there. So it was very interesting. It was not what I expected on that, but this really focuses on how the females felt within that, and the different the different choices they made, or what they wanted. Like from one of the girls is just a few years, about 10 to 15 years older than the Fatima. And she, of course, is wants to modern, and she wants to do all these things that her brothers get to do automatically, and she is not allowed to. And then, again, her mother was very, didn't want to be that. She wanted freedom to go and do stuff, but she was trapped in this, this situation where she wasn't allowed to do that. And then some of her aunts, and again, the grandmother was very traditional, no, we don't do anything. It's all the men are the ones who leave, and that we stay here. It was just very interesting. And then there's a lot of talk about children growing up and when they learn things, and their different games, and how they dealt with living in this this complex where they all lived. So it was really a fascinating memoir. I think it was an interesting look at seeing a different kind of a childhood than I definitely did not know anything about. I think it was really interesting to hear that, you know, not, you can't just say harem and understand what the, you know, it's not, the connotation's different in different circumstances and different families. It was just really interesting. And overall, I really like this, of getting to look at Morocco and some of the political stuff that was going on in the 40s with World War II, and with France being in charge of Morocco at that time, and the problems with that, as well as with religion. And then interesting in some of the other Arab worlds, like our countries like Egypt, and they talked about Turkey a little bit too, on their changes and stuff that I'd read about in notes on a foreign country. So it was like, this was like connecting with other books I'd read. And what's really funny is this book that was totally not related, but this took place in Morocco as well. It was kind of funny how a lot of things are connecting to this that I've read this month. So anyway, I thought this was really good. I really enjoyed this look at this, and I really do, if you are interested in seeing what it was like to live in Morocco in the 40s and was living in a harem, I think it was a really good book. I really enjoyed that. I then also finished yesterday Islands of Abandonment by Carl Flynn. This one I used for, I think I put record for NonFiction November. I think so. Islands of Abandonment, Life in the Post-Human Landscape by Carl Flynn is a book I started on vacation in August, and I wanted to get that done by the end of the year. So this was an interesting book. It talks about different places in the world that have been abandoned for different reasons. Some are due to like a nuclear or chemical, something happened, you know, like Chernobyl and stuff. And so people have left those areas for, you know, safety reasons. And then there are other places where more like industrial things happened. And so it's not quite as high, but they still was so damaging to the landscape. There's also places that are just abandoned due to where they're at. Like it was just, nobody could live there, sustain a living there without, you know, you don't have enough money to stay there and to get things to come in and stuff. So there's different places, and then there's again, there's even one where there's, you know, an active volcano and stuff, and so where they've lost land because of that. And so it was really interesting. I really enjoyed it overall. It was not, it kind of meandered sometimes in some of the sections where we would be talking about one place, but then she'd start talking about somewhere else. And I don't know if I always liked the connections of I don't know, it didn't always work for me. But overall, I found it really fascinating. It's definitely has some cool pictures, and it talked about some places that I had studied before and other places I had never heard of or I didn't know the name of. Like, as I said, the volcano one, I remember seeing pictures of that in the 90s and could not remember where that is in the Caribbean. And it was really interesting to learn more about that in Plymouth. And then as soon as I read about it, I'm like, oh, okay, I kind of remember some of that happening. But it was one of those things where I didn't have any frame of reference, except from news reports from back then, which at that time was kind of sketchy because I was younger. Anyway, so overall, I really like that. I use this for border due to these are little islands of isolation. So they have borders of where, you know, people don't go anymore for different reasons. Anyway, so I really like this, and I'm glad I got that done. So I did get some more nonfiction in. And then yesterday I just finished two, one comic and one manga that were from my library. I just want to read them and take them back. I got You Are Home by Katnia. Oh, I don't remember how she says her last name. Chetwin. So I have read these before and online, and they're just cute. They're mostly relationships about, I don't know, it's her and her partner, and they're just so cute. They're adorable. And they're kind of geeky, and they're very much, they're introverted. So they want to stay home and they do their things. It was just cute. As I said, it's not super long. It just has the, you know, one comic per page. And so I really enjoyed it. I've read one of the other ones earlier this year, And this was the new one that just came out. So I got that. I was one of the first ones to get that at the library. And then I also got Cat Massage Therapy Volume 3 by Haru Ishikawa. So these are just really insane ones. This is translated by Anne Keat Nyang. So this one is it just has like cats, and they have a massage parlor, and these office workers go there from the first one, and then they kind of get caught up, and there's the manager and the second in command, and then I don't remember what her title is, one of the other bigger cats, and then they have the little trainees, the little kittens. So cute. Anyway, this is just cute. There's no reason that they should have gone on to 3 volumes. I don't even know if there's more to this, but they're just cute. It's just adorable. Quick read. This one has where there's some rivals that are dogs, but it's really cute. Anyway, so it's just adorable. It just shows kittens and cats and cuddling up with people and how it makes them happy and getting massages. It's funny. Especially the acupuncture side. That's cute. Anyway, that was hilarious. Anyway, but it was just fun. So again, it's another one. I just got the next volume at the library and finished it. So what I'm currently reading, I'm reading too many books again. I can't seem to stop myself from starting things and putting them down. So the 2 things I'm actively reading right now, again, I've continued the Guild Hunter series with Archangels Viper. This is this is book 10. So I'm listening to this right now on audio. I'm just over a third of the way through. So I'm hoping to finish this up in the next day or 2. As I just keep reading those. And this is one of my favorite, like one of the favorites of the whole series. It's just, anyway, I love Holly and Venom. So anyway, that'll be cool. I did start last night into the Riverlands by Ning Vo. So this one is the 3rd book in the Singing Hills series. So I've liked all of them so far. The Empress of Salt and Fortune and what was the other one? When the Tiger Comes Down from the Mountain. So I've gotten them all from the library. I've liked them all. So I tried to get on the list as quickly as possible for this one. It took a little, I must have been in the second wave to get it, but it's like 100 pages. So it's really short. So I'm going to finish this up today. So far I like it. I've gotten about 20 pages. I think 18 pages, but whatever. So this won't take long. This is following a cleric who is going around, is kind of a historian and is going around and collecting stories. And the other 2 books tell different tales of different parts of the country. And now we're into the Riverlands and doing another section, another part. So this has been, again, I really have enjoyed these. I do want to read more books by this author. I have The Chosen and Beautiful on my shelf that I bought this summer. So I'd like to get to that at some point. But I'm going to read into the Riverlands so that I get another book in a series, and I caught up on a series. So I will finish this today. And then non-fiction wise, I started last night A Haunted History of Invisible Women, True Stories of America's Ghosts by Leanne Renee Heber and Andrea Janes. So this is on Ghost Stories, or I think so. I mean, I just read the introduction last night, so I read the 22 pages for that. And so then I'm going to start reading a couple of sections a night on some of the ghosts that they talk about and stuff. It's talking about histories of, usually, like, it's split up into, like, I think they're doing the maidens in the first section here. So they're talking about how a lot of the ghosts that are recorded or talked about are female and stuff. So there's the Death and the Maiden, witches, mothers and wives, bad girls, Jezebels and killer women, mad women, spinsters and widows, frauds, fakes, myth making. Yeah, so there's quite a few interesting sections. So there's a couple of different ghost stories in each one. So I was hoping to get this done for nonfiction November, but it just showed up at the library. I picked it up yesterday. So I don't have, I'm going to try to get at least, I'm going to just, as I said, read a little bit every day to get it done before it's due back. So anyway, so we'll try that. And then 2 books I started earlier this week, and when I went down to my parents to help with Thanksgiving, my brain just kind of fried, and I only listened to Archangel's Heart at night because I could only listen to audio for a little bit. What are you doing, Cooper? Anyway, I don't know what he's looking at. Anyway, so I did start Season of Storms by Susanna Kearsley. I decided to pick up the next book in her oeuvre. I have so many books of hers, and I still have, I think, 4 or 5 to read. So I wanted to get one more done this year. I read one earlier. I think in July. I can't remember for sure, Kat. I don't know what you're doing. But this one follows actors who are going to put on this play that was written by this man who was infatuated with this actress called Celia Sands. And right before the play was supposed to be put on in Italy, she went missing. And everybody thought she ran away with her lover, running away from the guy who wrote the play. And or he had something to do with it, and he killed her. They just never found the body. So now it's many decades later. I don't remember how many, 20. So it'd be like 88 decades later. Celia Sands is the daughter of is a movie star. This is a woman whose last name just happened to be Sands, but her mother named her after this actress who went missing because she was just like that. Kitty, could you stop? Cooper. Anyway, so she is hired to do this play just because of her name, pretty much, even though she is trying to break out as an actor as well. And one of the men who pretty much was kind of like a father figure to her is directing it. So he wants her to go because he's going to retire afterwards. So they go to Italy together. So so far I've only read to where they just got to the location. I can't remember where in Italy. We're close to Venice. It's not too far from Venice. And it's out in the country, and they're going to put the play on out there, a run for the summer, and they'll have tourists be bussed in for it. So they just got there to start, to start rehearsals and stuff. So it's very much the first day they get there. And we've already, met a couple of the characters and stuff. So again, I'm about 111 pages in, but I just put it down because I don't know. I don't know about the actor things. We'll see. So it's a Susanna Kearsley. I still think I'm going to enjoy this. I just lost a little steam because I went to Barnes & Noble and I bought Giddy in the Ninth by Tamsin Muir. So I tried this from the library when it first came out, and I didn't give it enough time. I only read like maybe 5-10 pages, and I was like, oh, I don't know about this. And I just was at the time I did like I often do, is I get new releases and then I try them. And I don't give it enough time. I just go, well, I don't have time to read this right now, so I'll just return it to the library. So that's what happened to Giddy in the Night. So, but this time I read a little bit more at Barnes & Noble before buying it, because it was one of their buy one, get one half off. So I bought this anyway with another book, which you'll see in my book haul later this week. So I really actually got into this, and it's kind of dark humor with necromancers. And so we're following Gideon, who wants to leave. She's pretty much an indentured servant to the Ninth, and she wants to leave, but she gets trapped to going with Harem, who is the leader of the house, kind of thing, to this to the center of kind of the empire, and they want to become some kind of like advisors to the emperor. But they go to this kind of abandoned world that's part of that the first where the emperor's from, but so they're all there. There's people from all the different because it goes up to the Ninth. There's like houses that are all like the first, the second, the third. So there's the second through the 8th are there for this to become advisors. So they're all there trying to do something, and they don't know what it is. And it's kind of ridiculous in a lot of ways, the things that happen in here. And I just got to 94 pages, 95. And again, I went down to my parents' house, so I didn't pick it up again. So I'm hoping today to pick up either this space necromancers kind of weird book, or pick up this one and try to finish it. So of course I picked up 2 huge books, and I got stuck about 100 pages in on each. Both of them are, both of them are about 480, 490 pages. So I have like 400 pages on both of these. I would like to finish these by the end of the month, but I don't know. So I don't know which one I'm going to pick first. So, and if you have any suggestions, let me know. So I'm hoping after I finish Into the Riverlands, because that's really short, I'll pick up one of those today and then focus on one and then finish it and and then finish the other one. I'd like to finish those. And then what I'm hoping to read in the next week after this, I don't know for sure, but audiobook wise, I am going to finish Shadows of Self. Either after I finish Archangels Viper, I'm going to finish out the last 4.5 hours on audio for this, and just get this done. And again, I have made the decision. I have canceled my hold at the library. I have decided that I am not going to force myself to read this as fast as I was reading this. I actually want to see how I feel in the new year after finishing this one, if I want to go back and start reading the Stormlight Archive. And then, because I hear that I'm supposed to be through Rhythm of War before I read The Lost Metal. Well, I haven't even started the Stormlight Archive yet. So I might, after I finish this one, wait a few months, and then maybe if I feel like epic fantasy, I can read The Way of Kings and then try to get through those books next year. And then maybe by the fall, I'll be able to read Bands of Mourning and The Lost Metal. We'll see what happens. I'll have to check I don't even know what order I'm supposed to read them in. Anyway, so this is book 2 in Mistborn Era 2. And I was enjoying it. It's just, it doesn't call to me. And I think the problem is, again, I'm reading one of my favorite series, rereading one of my favorite series on audio, and it is so much more gripping. Sorry. I don't have any problem. This is kind of a Western, kind of urban fantasy-ish take with epic fantasy. It has all the great allomancy from the first Mistborn Era 1. I love Mistborn Era 1. I think it's one of my favorite series of all time, but this is not quite to its level. Like, it's not the same. I know, things are happening here for reasons and stuff, and I do want to see it through. I'm just not sure. I'm just not, and it actually, as I said, I marked a part that had just happened on the page before, which is probably why, because I was mad at Wayne. And Wax I don't have as much problem with. I mean, he's not my favorite main character. Wayne drives me crazy in some ways, and sometimes he's supposed to. Like, he's kind of the comic side of this, but he was rude to one of the characters. I actually like her, and I think she's going to be a bigger character in here going forward. And I was mad at him, and I'm still mad at him, which is probably why I haven't come back to this. So as I said, I have about half of this book left. I'm hoping to read it by the end of the month. I just want to finish it out. So I'm thinking after I finish Viper, I will read this one, or I will read an hour a day and try to get it done during the work week. We'll see. Again, it matters if I get sick or not. Anyway, but I'm hoping to finish that. And then after that, I will let myself move on to book number 11 in the Guild Hunter series. I already have it on audio from the library. So we will see. So beyond that, I don't know. I have my whole December TBR, which will be up on Tuesday, just so you know. I don't know what I'm going to read beyond that. I'm figuring that these are going to take me to Wednesday or Thursday if I read them fast. If I read them slow, then this will be all I'll read this week physically. But we will see. As I said, well, I mean, again, I'm going to read a list partially all week, and then this will all finish today. So, I mean, I'll finish some things. It's just not, I don't know how this week is going to go. I just don't want to get sick. Anyway, so really quick, just to do I did do 2 nonfictions, so that was good. I did 2 rereads, so that was good. I don't think I did anything else. No, that's it. And again, there's a lot of check marks on here for 2 months. And again, I have another month, so we'll see, how we go. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it's not, as I said, it's not going badly. I just, as I said, I'm really embracing the mood reading. So anyway, that's it. What are you guys reading? How is your holiday for those of you in the States? Did you get to see family? Hopefully we're not all going to get sick. That's all I'm going to ask right now. Please don't let me get sick. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.